Almost 200 years ago, a couple of questions were asked that are so deep they get to the very core of who we are and what reality is all about, and they're just as relevant today. First, can we as people ever fundamentally change? And second, how can something be literally everywhere, in everything, but remain completely untouched by it all? So let's set the scene. It's January 7th, 1826, in Vartal, India. Picture a spiritual assembly, a gathering of people deep in conversation. The topic that comes up is fascinating. What's the real difference between someone who's godly and someone who's, well, demonic? And that one discussion is about to kick off an incredible philosophical journey. And right away, that leads to the first huge question. It's something we've all probably wondered about, right? Are people just stuck the way they are? Is a so-called bad person always going to be bad, or is there a real chance for them to transform from the inside out? So one of the devotees there, a man named Chimanravji, is totally gripped by this idea. He decides to ask the guru, Sriji Maharaj, directly. He basically says, look, can a demonic person ever truly become a godly one? And the answer he gets, wow, it's incredibly direct. Sriji Maharaj says, a demonic person most certainly does not become godly. That sounds pretty final, doesn't it? Case closed. Seems like a definite, unchangeable truth. But like with all deep teachings, that first answer, well, it's not the whole story. So what is really going on here? To understand that seemingly black and white statement, we have to look at one key idea that honestly changes everything. And that idea is the jiva. You can think of it as the soul. The teaching explains that the jiva is our true inherent self. And here's the crucial part. It's described as being eternally flawless, pure, and filled with bliss. It's the absolute core of who you are, underneath everything else. And this is where the puzzle pieces just click into place. You see, there's a huge distinction made between our inherent self, that perfect jiva, and our acquired nature. While the jiva itself is unchanging and perfect, our day-to-day nature, whether we act in a godly or demonic way, that's totally shaped by our actions and who we hang out with. It's always in flux. So the big insight is this. You are not your temporary nature. And this just brilliantly shows that change is possible. That original quote wasn't saying change is impossible. It was just highlighting how deep the distinction is. To actually transform that acquired nature, the path is clear. Perform good actions, surround yourself with good people, and connect with the divine. So, a person's character isn't some fixed prison sentence. It's a dynamic state we can actively change. Okay, now let's jump to the second question, because it builds on this beautifully. The moment that first discussion wrapped up, another scholar in the room, Shubharam Shastri, throws out an even more mind-bending question, this time about the nature of God. Just stop and think about that for a second. It really is a paradox, isn't it? If the divine is present in every single atom of the universe, in the good things, the bad things, the beautiful, the ugly, how does it not get defined or even kind of dirtied by all of it? How can you be in something without becoming a part of it? To explain this puzzle, the teaching gives us two really specific terms, anvay and vyatirek. Anvay is the quality of being immanent, of being within everything. And vyatirek is the exact opposite, but get this, simultaneous quality of being transcendent, of staying completely separate from everything. So according to this, God is both at the very same time. Now, that is a seriously abstract concept, I get it. And that's exactly why, to make it crystal clear, Sriji Maharaj used this simple, elegant, and really powerful analogy that pretty much anyone can understand. He used the analogy of a tree and the space it takes up, or akash as it's called. Let's just walk through this together, step by step. It's pretty cool. Okay, first step, just imagine a tiny little seed. Even inside that tiny seed, there's space, right? There's akash. It's there from the very beginning, held inside the potential of what will become a tree. All right, now, as that seed sprouts and grows into a huge tree, that space expands right along with it. It's inside the trunk, it fills every single branch, it's in every leaf, every piece of fruit. It is totally, completely present, pervading the entire tree. That right there, that's anvay, total immanence. But then comes the big question. What happens if that tree is destroyed? Let's say it gets chopped down into firewood or even burned completely to ash. The physical tree is gone. But what about all that space that was inside it?
Well, here's the whole point of the analogy. The space itself isn't cut, it's not burned, it's not harmed in any way at all. It remains completely separate and totally unaffected, just like it always was. This is Viteric, transcendence. The space was in the tree, for sure, but it was never of the tree.
So, what are the two big ideas we can walk away with here? First, when it comes to human nature, our character is not some fixed destiny. Our true, pure self is totally separate from the nature we pick up through our choices. And second, on divine nature, that beautiful analogy shows us how the divine can be present in every nook and cranny of existence without ever being limited or changed by any of it. And that leaves us with one final thought to really chew on. If the very fabric of reality is defined by a divine presence that is both totally engaged with everything and yet completely unharmed by it, what does that suggest about our own pure self, the jiva, and its potential to navigate this world, to change its acquired nature, and still remain perfectly whole?